Jesus is alive. 1, 2, 3. Jesus is alive. He died for you and me, but on day 3, Jesus rose again. Jesus is alive. 1, 2, 3. Jesus is alive. 1, 2, 3. Jesus is alive. He died for you and me, but on day 3, Jesus rose again.
everybody. I am so glad you joined us today. Do you know why? Because today is Easter. Happy Easter! On the count of 3, can you turn to the person beside you and say, Happy Easter? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy Easter! Awesome! Today, we're going to learn about how Jesus died and is now alive. We have a problem though. Once again, Topher got into our room and hid all our Easter eggs. We're going to need those eggs to hear all about what the Bible tells us about how Jesus came back to life after he died. Jesus died and now he's alive. That's our big idea for today. Let's say it together. Jesus died and now he's alive. It's true. Jesus died and now he's alive. In fact, that's what our memory verse from the Bible tells us. Let me teach it to you. He is not here. He has risen, just as he said he would. Matthew 28, verse 6. Let's do that together. He is not here. He has risen, just as he said he would. Matthew 28, verse 6. Wow, nice job. I think we're ready to dig into the Bible. But first, I'm wondering if you can help me with something. I have 2 things here. I have a box of Kleenex and a party noisemaker. One of these things is good for when you're feeling sad, and another is good for when you're feeling happy. Woohoo! But I'm not sure which is which. Can you help me figure it out? Which of these 2 things do you think you would use when you feel sad? Well, that's a bit noisy. This one can catch my tears. Which is the best thing to use when you're sad? I think you're right. I think it's a Kleenex. You can use it to wipe your tears away or blow your nose. So if the Kleenex is good for when you're sad, when would we use the party noisemaker? Great thinking. Let me see you make a super happy face. If you're feeling happy, you could celebrate by blowing a noisemaker. Or by shouting, hooray! Can you shout hooray with me? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hooray! Sometimes we feel sad, and sometimes we feel happy. In the Bible, we're going to learn about a time when Jesus' disciples got really sad. But then, a few days later, they got really happy. If you're ready to get started, wiggle your fingers in the air.
I think it's time to find our first Easter egg. Hop around the room like a bunny and find the big green egg. When we find it, let's open it up and see what's inside. Then we can put it in the Easter basket. What did we find in the green egg? That's right, it's a cross. Let's put the egg into our Easter basket. Jesus told everyone that he's the Son of God. It's true, he really is the Son of God. But his enemies didn't believe him. They wanted to stop him from saying that. So they came up with a plan to get rid of Jesus permanently. They wanted to kill him, and they got what they wanted too. After Jesus' trial with the Jewish leaders and the Roman governor, Pilate, Jesus was sentenced to die on a cross. First, they nailed one hand to the cross. Then they nailed the other hand to the cross. Then they nailed his feet to the cross. Jesus was on the cross for 6 hours and then he died. It was a very very sad day. But the story doesn't stay sad, and that's not where it ends either. Let's find our next Easter egg. Hop around the room and find the big blue egg. When we find it, let's open it up and see what's inside. Then we can put it in the Easter basket. What did we find in the blue egg? It's a tomb. Let's put our egg in the Easter basket. In Jesus' time, a tomb was like a small cave where people who died were buried. After Jesus died, one of his friends, a man named Joseph, took Jesus off the cross, wrapped him up in a new, clean cloth, and put his body in a tomb. Then he rolled a big stone in front of the opening of the tomb. Let's pretend to push the big stone. Are you ready? Great job. After Jesus was buried, the Jewish leaders wanted to make sure no one would be able to get in or out. So they put some big, tough guards in front of the tomb to make sure nothing would happen. Let's find our next Easter egg. Hop around the room and find the big purple egg. When we find it, let's open it up and see what's inside. Then we can put it in the Easter basket. What did we find in the purple egg? It's the number 3. Let's put our egg into the Easter basket. Hey, let's count to 3 together. 1, 2, 3. 3 days later, some women who were followers of Jesus went to the tomb to care for Jesus' body. When they got there, there was a huge earthquake. An angel of God came down from heaven and rolled back the big stone. The big, tough guards were so afraid they began to shake. Let's pretend to shake with fear. Then the guards fainted to the ground like dead men. Let's find our next Easter egg. Hop around the room and find the big pink egg. When we find it, let's open it up and see what's inside. Then we can put it in the Easter basket. What did we find in the pink egg? It's Jesus. Let's put the egg into our Easter basket. The angel told the women, "Don't be afraid. I know you're looking for Jesus, but he is not here. He has risen just as he said he would." The women were so happy, they ran to tell the disciples the good news. Let's pretend to run like the disciples. We're running to tell the good news. We're running to tell the good news. We're running to tell the good news. And stop. Suddenly, as the women were running, Jesus appeared to them and said, "Greetings." Then the women knew it was true. Jesus really was alive, and he is the Son of God. So they knelt at his feet and they worshiped him. It was the happiest day ever.
Today we learned about a very sad day in the Bible. Jesus, he died. He was nailed to a cross and he was buried in a tomb. But that's not where things ended. 3 days later, Jesus rose from the dead. Hooray! It was such a happy day. I think we should all celebrate. On the count of 3, let's all say, "Jesus is alive," and then shout, "Hooray!" Ready? 1, 2, 3. Jesus is alive! Hooray! Can we do that again? But this time we're going to whisper softly. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Jesus is alive! Hooray! I think we can do it one more time. This time, do you think you can be louder than me? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Jesus is alive! Hooray! Great job. I bet the women who saw Jesus were just as excited as we just were. All right, I want to show you something, because when Jesus died on the cross, it wasn't just because the Jewish leaders wanted to kill him. It was all part of God's great rescue for everyone. Follow me and you'll see what I mean. You see, when God first made everything and everyone, it was all perfect and clean and pure, just the way God wanted it. But God had an enemy that wanted to ruin everything. God's enemy, Satan, tricked the first people God ever created into breaking God's rules. That's when sin entered the world. Ever since then, God created a plan to fix what sin had broken and to make us clean and pure again. When Jesus died on the cross, he washed clean all the bad things we do. Now, if we love and follow Jesus, we can live with him forever in heaven. And that's because Jesus didn't stay dead. Jesus died, and now he's alive. Hey, that's our big idea for the day. I think we should tell our parents, but we probably should practice first. Let's see if we can go find Topher and tell him. Look, Topher found our Easter basket again and fell asleep in it. He must find it really comfy. I think we should wake him up. When we wake him up, we can all tell him that Jesus died and now he's alive. Ready? On the count of 3, let's all yell, "Topher, wake up!" 1, 2, 3. Topher, wake up! What's the big idea? Jesus died and now he's alive. Oh, that is a big idea. Thanks for telling me, kids. Bye. Let's say a prayer together and tell Jesus how happy we are that he is alive. Ready? Hands up, hands together, hands down. Dear Jesus, thank you for loving me so much that you died on the cross for me. I'm so happy you're alive, and I love you, Jesus. Amen. Wow, wasn't that an amazing story? That is what Easter is all about.